what's up, everybody? I am Dutchy, and I am the one hosting the Wrestling Through the Years podcast tonight. Dizzle is at the movies. He's going to watch Scream 7. Probably going to hate it.
I can't believe it's already 7.
Huh?
I can't believe there's been 7 of them.
And the funny thing is that like they were supposed to reboot the entire franchise. They had new girls picked out. And then the whole thing where one of the girls gets canceled because she didn't like what was happening to her ethnicity. So she said something about it. She said something about it, and then she got canceled because free speech isn't a thing anymore. You got to pay 25 cents to have 3 words.
Yeah.
But all right. Enough of that before I get canceled. Of course, I am your host, Dutchy, joined by Money E.
What's up?
And of course, C Money is here with us. He is the man who picked this particular subject.
Yeah, I did. And I do kind of regret it too.
And we'll get into that because I like doing TNA pay-per-views, but 2009 was probably one of the worst years for the company.
Yeah, that's probably why they brought Hogan in.
Well, no, they brought Hogan in so they could put the final nail in the company.
The whole Hogan thing, I believe, was an undercover payoff.
What?
I still believe Bischoff and Hogan was paid by Vince McMahon to go down there and kill off TNA under the table.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, the thing is that you had somebody running, you had an owner of the company or the president of the company, Dixie Carter, who knew nothing about wrestling. You would have been better off, honest to God, if you would have put the actress Dixie Carter in charge of the wrestling product. For those of you who
I didn't even
don't
know there was an actress.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know who the actress Dixie Carter is, watch the show Designing Women. Fantastic program. Even though it is mainly a female show, it still is pretty good, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
So, you frying an egg? All right. So, Lockdown 2009 is our subject for today. Clintus, you picked this. Why don't you get into why you wanted to do this event?
Well, let's put it this way. I originally wanted 05, but I could not find 05 whatsoever. 05 featured Angle and Samoa Joe 101.
Well, that was 08.
Oh, wait. Well, a year prior, let's put it that way.
Okay.
But it wasn't available on YouTube. And since 09 was in Philly, I figured, why not? TNA, Philly, Dudley Boys in the house. I forgot mainly a lot of the backstory for went along with it until I actually watched it myself, and I was like, why did I pick this thing?
Yeah. Well, the Main Event Mafia was really big around this time.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that if you see Cactus Jack versus Sting in the main event in a cage match, you're just like, oh, cool. But then you realize it's not 1991 anymore. And you're just like, oh, it's 2009. They're both in their, Mick is close to, Mick is 40. Mick is 44 at the time.
Wow.
And Sting is 50. Sting is about 50. Or gonna be. It just turned 50. So it's like, oh well, okay, well, as long as you don't put them in the main event, it should be a good match. And then, of course, you put them in the main event, make it for the world title. It's just, and you could tell there were certain things that went wrong with this show. Because I felt like there was a really good women's match, the triple threat for the Knockouts title.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then, of course, the thing happened with Angelina Love. And you had Rudy Charles in there who was trying to communicate to everybody. And you could tell, like, he's trying to tell everybody because he's trying to do, because, the finish obviously was, and we'll get into that, but we knew what the finish was. And it's just like, Rudy Charles, trying to do what a good referee should. And he's trying to, like, communicate to everybody, hey, this is what we got to do. It's like, what now was he, because Rudy Charles obviously works for WWE now. And I don't know if either one of you watched Raw Monday night, but was Rudy Charles, now going by the name Dan Angler, was he the referee for the triple threat match Monday night where Bronson Reed got hurt?
I do.
I don't remember. I saw some of it, but I don't remember who the referee was.
Because you could tell that the referee was going back and forth to Chad Gable or Grande Americano, and Jey Uso, basically trying to communicate, hey, this is what the new finish is.
Yeah.
By the way, doing the right thing. Yeah, because Bronson Reed was supposed to be the one to win, but he ended up tearing his tricep.
Yeah, division is cursed.
Yeah. Yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, I don't usually like to say that the Orange Cassidy on crack, aka Solid Monster, is right, especially lately, because he's really just been pissing me off to the point to where when his videos are about to premiere, I just go through and dislike him right away.
Can the man get a chance?
No, because all he's been doing is just like, because I go through and I actually, there's certain parts of the show that I actually enjoy. And then like, I watch this asshole's review and then it's just like, oh, maybe maybe I was wrong. And it's like, I don't want to second guess myself. I just want to enjoy something, say I enjoyed it, and then that's it. I could care less about somebody else's opinion. Yes, you are allowed to have it, but I don't have to listen to you.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, and if I feel like fucking with you by disliking your video so it fucks up your algorithm, I'm going to do that.
Fair enough.
So, but as far as like Lockdown 2009, there were certain parts of the show that I liked. Because there were certain members of the TNA roster that I liked.
Yeah. So, but if you look at this and then as the show goes about, you realize that this is nothing but like the old school wrestlers, as in people like Booker T, Scott Steiner, you got Mick Foley and Sting, and trying to say that we can still keep up with the young guys. So Beer Money, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I think this is what this pay-per-view was trying to basically say.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle is the only original WWE guy.
Yeah. But before we go too far along, I just want to kind of update everybody on something that we're going to be doing in a few weeks. We're going to be doing a top 50 Golden Era stars countdown. I'm having the guys give me 20 guys to put on the ballot. Clineth, I think Eric put a website in the group chat for you to follow, so you're able to come up with 20 guys.
Yeah, I was going to work on that.
Reminded him before the show.
Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna work on it,
I
and then I
reminded
realized.
Kenneth before the show before we went on air when you were still off.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Clint? Go ahead.
I said I was gonna do it, and then I realized I got kicked out the site that I'm on. It kicks me off the site, so I was like, I'll do it after the show is over. Again, I guess.
Yeah. So there's no rush. Daniel still has to do his. I mean, I got a lot of names to put on it already. And by the way, you can use, because I'm saying Golden Era stars, I'm not saying wrestlers. You can use managers. You could put female wrestlers in there if you want. Because there was a lot of stars of the Golden Era, and it wasn't just people that were in the ring.
Yeah, that's true. Because I saw you had Mr. Fuji.
Yeah. Well, Fuji did wrestle in the Golden Era a little bit.
Okay.
But I want to. There are guys that we're putting on the countdown that I just want to see if people in the groups will vote for.
Yeah. They're gonna say you probably have a lot of ties.
Yeah. So, but that'll be in a few weeks. I need a few weeks to kind of get this thing together. So, that's going to be coming up, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do for next week's show at the end of the show. But let's get into this. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, TNA Lockdown. First match was the X Division Escape match. 5 men. Jay Lethal, Consequences Creed, Sheik Abdul Bashir, Kiyoshi, and Suicide, the champion for the X Division title. It's elimination until we get to the final 2.
Yep.
Suicide was Frankie Kazarian under the mask. Sheik Abdul Bashir, everybody knows him as Davari. Consequences Creed, everybody knows him as Xavier Woods. Clineth, I'm going to let you start because you're the one that suggested we do this show. What'd you think?
So I think it was a good, interesting way to start a match. Because here's one thing I do like about TNA and about Lockdown itself. Lockdown features matches that were unique, but everything was evolving steel cage.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of steel cage matches. So when Lockdown comes around, I'm all for it. Pay-per-view of the year. One of my favorites, TNA at the time.
I liked the whole every match was inside of a steel cage deal.
Yeah.
I thought that was a unique concept.
But in this setup, unique, it makes it unique because you're not only trying to win the match, but you have to eliminate 3 other people before you're able to escape a cage to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which brings more unique styles into this match.
Yeah. Now, did either one of you play the TNA video game at all back in the day?
I did. And I think it's probably the worst wrestling game I did play in my life.
Really?
I might have. I forget if I did.
I did. I did. I did not like it.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because my biggest critique on there is I didn't think there was enough playable characters. What was your biggest critique?
All right. My biggest critique that if you compare it to what Raw was, 2K, the WWE games, besides the Suicide Story, it didn't really have matches in it. You had a tag team match, single match, hardcore, and then the specialty was the X Division Ultimate X.
Right. Yeah, you didn't have 6 sides of steel. You didn't.
You didn't really do anything that you other wrestling games were in. It was like you're playing, I don't know, a classic old version of WCW game, like a PS1 game, WCW Thunder or Nitro, on an updated system with just updated graphics.
Right. I mean, my biggest critique on it was there wasn't a lot of people available to play.
Yeah.
Or to play as. Because TNA had a loaded roster at the time, and I felt like only half of them were available for the game.
When did they come out?
2008 or 2009, Kenneth, or 2008, right?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, when I played it, I got it like used for $10.
I mean, I think I remember playing it in 2008 because I remember being excited about it.
Yeah.
And then, they built Suicide basically was a character that was it basically came out of the video game. And then they wanted Frankie Kazarian to play it. That's why they wrote Frankie himself off of television.
Oh, okay.
So he could play the character. And then he got hurt. So they had to take Suicide off of TV for like a couple months. But then they're like, no, we need to bring this back. But Frankie wasn't ready to come back yet. So they had Christopher Daniels play him for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did they use Christopher Daniels? And you just answered my question. So
yeah. So Christopher Daniels did it for a little bit, and then Frankie was ready to come back, and then because they had to take Christopher Daniels out of the gimmick he was using at the time, which was Curry Man.
Oh, that's right. He was Curry. He was Curry too. I forgot.
So they took him out of that so he could be Suicide. So, but then Frankie came back and he got to play the gimmick for a little while, and I liked the gimmick. So I thought it was good. But Eric, what did you think of this matchup?
I liked it. I thought it was a good opener. Five interesting guys. I mean, obviously Xavier Woods in WWE, now it's Xavier Woods in New Day. But I thought the right guy won. I liked it. I would give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, I'm also gonna say I'll also say 3 out of 5. Clintus, what say you?
I want to give it a 3 out of 5 as well.
Okay. All right. Up next, we had the Queen of the Cage. ODB versus Madison Rayne versus Sojourner Bolt versus Daphne. Oh boy, was the X Division struggling at the time.
Yeah.
Eric, what did you think?
There's probably a match that maybe shouldn't have been on the card. There's several matches I think shouldn't have been on the card, and I think this is one of them.
You think they could have done without this?
Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 they could have done without, and maybe give some time to the others. But we'll get into that. But nothing wrong with it for women. I think the right person won because ODB. I mean, she was over.
She was
with the crowd,
super over.
Huh?
She was super over.
Yeah, so I think she deserves to win. Especially if it was for the number 1 contender, as they kind of alluded to. So, I think the right person won. I would give this a 2 out of 5.
Yeah. Clenneth, what do we think?
I think I agree with Eric. This was not like one of the matches I would have wanted to watch on a pay-per-view card, to tell you the truth. I mean, ODB, I think at the time was like over to the point that I would have put her in contention for the Knockouts title as well.
Do you think she should have been in the 3-way match and not Taylor Wilde?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they should have flipped girls.
I can see that. I mean, Taylor was still kind of over at the time. I mean, not as much as she had been. So, I mean, I can see that, but I do kind of agree that maybe ODB should be, because ODB was like the queen of the knockouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's put it this way. It's one thing I did like what TNA were doing with the women compared to WWE. What TNA was proving, everybody say Women's Revolution started once you had back in 2013. It never started. TNA really started the women's revolution because they treated the women like men, especially when it comes to pay-per-views like this.
The women never had to worry about getting their time cut
Yeah,
in this company. The women were treated equally. Now, were all of them good workers? Absolutely not.
but they still put on a show.
Yeah,
Yep.
but a lot of them got better too. Angelina Love got so much better throughout the years from when she first started.
I would say like she's like the Trish of TNA.
Ah,
Or is that taking it too far?
I like Trish, so I'm not going to say that because I personally I don't like Angelina Love.
Yeah.
And but I'm not going to trash Angelina Love too much. She has been through a lot over the years. The man she married turned out to be an absolute scumbag, but we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah. I thought Madison Rain was decent.
She is one who really improved over the years.
Yeah.
She started out, she was green, and she was green as grass, and then she just got better.
Now, who did she marry? I know she married a wrestler, right?
Madison Rain?
Yeah. Or am I thinking
Madison Rain married Josh Matthews. And they're still married, I believe. Angelina Love married Davey Richards.
Oh, okay.
Velvet Sky married the worst looking asshole she could marry. I don't know if they're married or not, but I think she's still with Bully Ray.
Shit, I didn't know that one.
Yeah. All right. You both said 2 out of 5?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say 1. Even though I think the right person won.
Yeah.
All right. Next match is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. The team of No Limit takes on LAX, and the champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. And we got to see a very young Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah.
Like very young. This match I like. I gotta look that up. I think I forgot the guy's name.
Let me see. Let me look.
I was just gonna say, you even gonna be able to pronounce the guy's name?
Probably not.
All right, let's see. All right, the Motor City Machine Gun. All right, so it was Naito and Yujiro, which I'm pretty sure I just butchered it.
Yujiro.
Yeah. By the way, the dark match of this thing was Eric Young taking on Danny Bonaducci.
Wow. Yeah, that only went 3 minutes.
Yeah. Our buddy is telling you to wake up.
Cool.
Well, not you. He's telling it to Eric.
Mm.
Our buddy Reaper.
Why'd you tell me to wake up?
I don't know.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, Shawnee boy. All right. So Clintus, what did you think of this three-way tag match?
They too. This is probably another match I probably wouldn't have put on the card itself. I mean, it was interesting, but when you look at the card, it's like they added. It was overly stacked where they could have gave more time, especially in my opinion, to Lethal Lockdown.
By the way, Lethal Lockdown was the longest match on the card.
And I figured, and that's one thing to me, it didn't feel long.
Yeah, because like now, like War Games matches take like what, like half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Sean, we're doing good tonight. How are you? But no, I can see your point because there was like a few things on here that just like they're like in here, Misty.
With a 9-match card.
Yeah. Clintus hit the wrong button. He'll be back.
Yeah.
I hope. But yeah, no, it was, I mean, I like the match because, and I think this was just a way to get the machine guns and LAX on the card.
Yeah.
So I feel like I understand what Clintus is saying. And if he ever decides to come back, he can kind of emphasize his point if he wants to. But Eric, what did you think?
I thought it was a solid match. Not the best of the two tag team matches, but I liked all three teams. I thought they all brought different styles. You got the No Limits with the risk takers from the No Limits. You got the power guys from LAX, and you got the
all right, Eric, do you want to add him back in, or do you want me to?
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you got the speed guy from Motor Machine Guns. Got 3 different styles. Although No Limits and Motor Machine Guns are probably similar styles anyway.
Yeah, which is why it made sense for those two teams to go at it.
Yeah. And then you add LAX who are the power guys.
Yeah, and we're very over at the time too.
Yep.
So, what do you give this match, Eric?
I give this a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, Clintus, what are you giving?
I'll give it a 3.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna say 3. I thought it was good. Next up, we have Matt Morgan and Abyss in a Doomsday Chamber of Blood match. There's a reason why there was only 2 of these. For anybody that does not know what the hell this is, it is basically, it's a first blood match, but you still have to pin your opponent. But you can only pin him after he bleeds.
Yeah, I was confused as what it was at first, but then they explained it.
Yeah. Clintus, take it away.
Well, on paper, you figured this is going to be a gruesome match, especially when you have a guy like Abyss in there.
Yeah.
Because this match tailors Abyss's style and play when it comes to violence and blood. Now, the match to me didn't really play as like gruesome or glory that I wanted it to be, or the name suggests. And you said there's a reason why there's 2 of them, and I would love to hear those reasons why.
Because it sucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I was suspecting like a Doug's foreshadowing of a reason why.
Here's the reason. Here,
what?
Anybody know like the story behind the first one?
No.
Okay. So the first one was a 6-man tag. It was because the Doomsday Chamber of Blood, it was always going to be a 6 sides of steel, first, and then first blood, but pinfall. Like, you have to, in order for somebody to be pinned, they have to bleed. And the very first match was Christian Cage, Tomko, and AJ Styles, the Christian Coalition, as they were known at the time, taking on Sting, Abyss, and the Punisher, Andrew Martin. It was Test, by the way.
Oh.
And it was Test's debut.
Oh.
And the match sucked.
That's why I remember it.
And Test was never brought back to TNA again.
He was one and done?
Huh?
He was one and done. Wow.
Yeah, he had one match and that was it.
Jeez.
On paper, it sounds like a good match.
On paper, they thought it was going to be really good because it was a unique concept and it was something that they could. It's like Raven's idea of doing the Hangman's Horror, which was the match where, like, in order to beat your opponent, you have to hang them and choke them unconscious. Which, by the way, is also how you murder somebody. So, like, they were trying new concepts. They thought of this as it was a new concept. The problem is the match didn't get over so well because one of the guys in it absolutely fucking sucked.
Yep.
So they tried it again here because they felt like they could get something with Matt Morgan. And it just, I mean, on paper, it looks like a good match. But yes, this was the last one they had ever done.
And I see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard it, I'm like, this seems like a good. Now the pay-per-view is starting to get into something. That's a probably watch. And when you watch this match, it's like, why?
Yeah.
And then you think of it because you have Abyss wearing that mask, so it's going to be hard to witness blood coming out of Abyss's face.
Well, that's why, like, he does the half mask, so you could see the blood coming out of the forehead.
Yeah, but when you think of like a guy, like when you think of like a first blood match, and you see somebody like Abyss, Abyss to me is not. I wouldn't pass as like a heavy bleeder.
Right.
It's more like you see those guys go up, and it's like, well, even if they lose and the guy's busted open, this is not like a guy's going to be like a heavily bleeding type of person, and then you're going to see him knocked out and pinned. That's when I think about when I think of this concept of a match.
Yeah.
Two guys busted wide open like how Shawn Michaels and Triple H Hell in a Cell was.
Yeah. And then the whole, like, addition of Dr. Stevie and that whole thing. It just.
Yeah, that made the match. I thought until he came in, it was okay. But then he came in and he ruined the match for me.
Yeah.
So
I will have to give
I
this
would give
match
it
a one.
Yeah. By the way, Stevie Richards as a psychiatrist, not a good idea. Proctologist, urologist, gynecologist, yes. Psychiatrist, no.
No.
But all right, Clintus, what do you give it?
I'm giving it a one.
All
I'm giving
right.
it 1 too.
I'm going to be a little kinder because I like both guys, and I'm going to say it was a 2. I feel like if you would have gotten rid of the Dr. Stevie thing and would have just made this a first blood cage match without the pinfall stipulation, it would have been better.
Yeah. I would have given it a 2 myself, but I think he ruined the match.
Yeah. So I'll just say 2. All right. Up next is a match that would have been a lot better had not they had to do a bad finish. Knockouts title, Awesome Kong defends against Taylor Wilde and Angelina Love. Eric, what did you think?
As you said, we talked about it earlier. I think the finish was crappy. I don't know. Was she supposed to win anyway, or was Awesome Kong supposed to get out of
No,
that
she
knot?
was supposed to win. That's why, like, when she got knocked loopy, like you saw Rudy Charles they rushed the finish so they could get her the hell out of the ring.
Yeah.
It's not like WWE nowadays where they just like, if somebody gets concussed, they're like, all right, let's just call an audible and this person won't win. She was scheduled to win the match. So that's why, like, they just had to do the thing. And then, like, because when they tied Awesome Kong's hair to the cage, like, you could see Raisha Saeed trying to get her free.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, like, when Rudy Charles, I almost call him by his name, Dan Angler, his WWE name, like, you could see him basically shout to Raisha Saeed, don't get her free. Like, just, we're going to do a quick finish, and that's going to be it. Like, we got to get her out of here.
Yeah, I thought the finish was kind of, yeah.
Well, they didn't have a choice. I mean, Awesome Kong could not get free.
Exactly.
I mean, well, because here's the thing: like, they could have gotten her braid undone, and she could have come in and done damage to Taylor Wilde. But Angelina Love's not going to be able to do anything to capitalize.
Yeah, because she was concussed. So
yeah, so they had to just do a quick on the fly finish. If they were going to go with, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If they were going to go with the idea of Angelina Love winning the title, then that's what they had to do. Now, they would not do that nowadays. Like, if this was a triple threat match nowadays, if this match were happening, if Angelina Love gets concussed, she's done. Like, they're going to tell her, wait in the corner, or like, we'll have somebody kind of come check you out. But, like, you're done. You're not wrestling anymore.
They would have probably gave the win back to Awesome Kong.
They would have just told Kong, you're keeping the title.
Yeah.
Clint, what did you think?
Oh, man. Well, this match, that explains why the match to myself was a lot sloppier than when I was watching it. I was trying to figure out what happened, and thanks to your explanation, now I understand more, because I wasn't really feeling this match at all. So I wasn't a big fan of her winning. I thought Awesome Kong should have went over. And when they tied their hair to the braiding to the cage, I thought that was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I was expecting it more of a WWE style, not TNA. So this match was like way all over the place that I didn't realize that she was concussed or suffered an injury during the match.
Well, I didn't realize it either. I was watching it because even though Boss Man isn't here tonight, he watched the show with me. And like he said, he goes, Angelina's hurt. I said, no, she's not. And he rewound it, and then we saw the spot, and then we saw like the thing where, you know, they do the cover and she got her shoulder up, and then they decide to do the cover. Or no, her shoulder wasn't even down. But I guess in the truck they said you have to do the cover again with her shoulder down. And then that's when Rudy Charles realized, it's like, oh fuck, like she's out of it. That's why her shoulder wasn't down. It's because she doesn't know where the fuck she is.
I might have to rewind it and see it, because I didn't know she was concussed either.
Yeah, no, Daniel's the one that pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes more sense. Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, so Clint, if you think that they should have done what WWE and like AEW and all that would do nowadays, and they should have just let Awesome Kong just keep the belt and take Angelina Love out,
I would have done it. Yeah.
I give this two out of 5.
Yeah. Kenneth?
I'll give it a 1.
I'm going to agree with you just because, I mean, and I understand Angelina got hurt, but this match could have offered so much more. All right,
Yeah.
up next, Philadelphia street fight for the TNA World Tag Team titles. Beer Money takes on Team 3D. You could go all over the building. They opened up the cage door, which made no fucking sense. But I actually thought this was a good match. Clintus, what say you?
I
thought this was the best match in the card.
Are you Clintus?
Oh, sorry, Clint.
Oh man. Well, I will say yes. This was the best match. I like the street fight idea. I love the fact that they let the stick. Even though it was inside a steel cage, the cage door was open, and it was false counts anywhere. It gave everybody a chance to say, well, even though every match is in there, it doesn't mean everything has to be confining in the steel cage every match.
Yeah. So, all right, Eric, now you can go.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this match. This is one match that shouldn't have been in the cage, obviously, because it's a street fight. And yeah, I thought both teams were over. I thought, especially Team 3D in Philadelphia, obviously, with the ECW. The promo before it was funny. They're saying that, oh, Philadelphia's our home when they're from New York, but
well, I mean, they were around Philadelphia for so long.
Yeah. So I understand that part, though. But I like this match. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
All right, Clintus?
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 too. I mean, it was like this is when the pay-per-view to me really started taking interest.
Yeah.
And actually really started for me.
I'm going to agree. I'm also going to say 4 out of 5. I thought this was good. I like how the spot at the end with the cage door getting slammed in the face and then the 3D through the table.
Yep.
I thought it was really good. So yeah, and I do think that this probably was the best match on the card.
Yeah.
So all right, now next is Lethal Lockdown, and the big tagline here is, where does Jeff Jarrett's loyalties lie? Does it lie with the Main Event Mafia, the group that took him out for a few months because him and Kurt Angle hate each other? Or does it lie with the TNA Frontline, when even though the Frontline were the baby faces, all the young talent in the Frontline were acting like whiny little bitches? Well, no, that was the thing, and that was the big thing about the storyline was like, even though the Main Event Mafia, they were the bad guys, it was like the Frontline guys were acting like the spoiled brats.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like AJ Styles, love AJ Styles, love what they did with his retirement this past week. Love the fact that he's going in the Hall of Fame. But around this time, like with the whole thing, you could tell AJ legitimately hated the fact that older guys were coming into the company.
Yeah. Especially Kevin Nash.
I think the two biggest problems he had were Kevin Nash and Booker T.
Yeah.
I legit think Steiner had been there for a couple of years.
Okay.
I legit think that he hated Kevin Nash and Booker T.
I can see that.
Now, I don't know if that's the truth or not, but you could just tell because he looked really unhappy at the time. And a lot of his true feelings were coming out, all these older guys and all that. And when he would talk about guys that would just come there for a 2-year vacation and then go back to WWE, there was a point where like he said that in a promo, and I'm like, oh my God, he's talking about Booker.
Yep.
Because Booker was there for exactly 2 years and then went back to WWE. So, Clintus, what did you think?
Man. To me, I think this proves that these guys, it was a lot of old heads versus new heads versus old heads. It's like the young guys wanted, the old guys wanted to prove that they could still about wrestle and keep up with the younger talents, and that's when you look at this match, it's really comparative. They say that it was Jeff Jarrett's idea to give the main event Mafia the main advantage.
Well, yeah, because they did a match where it was Christopher Daniels, I think, versus Kurt Angle. Christopher Daniels was brought in as the mystery man on behalf of Jeff Jarrett to be on the team.
Yep.
AJ Styles, I think it was AJ Styles and Samoa Joe actually cost Kurt the match. So they got the man advantage, but then Jeff Jarrett came out and said, look, you cheated, therefore main event Mafia gets the man advantage.
Even though Jeff Jarrett's the team captain of
that, because they were really playing up the fact that him and Scott Steiner were real life buddies.
Yeah.
So
are they still buddies?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they still talk and all that. So I just think it was like one of those things. I thought the match was good.
Yeah.
So, Eric, what did you think?
I was kind of disappointed in this match, but it was still very good. I actually thought, I don't know if you agree with this, but I thought main event Mafia should have won. Because if they're trying to put them over as the best heel team, I think they should have won. But I don't know if you agree with that.
Okay, so I see your point, but I'm going to raise you this, which watch this be done a lot tomorrow during the cartoon shows, where everybody kind of sees the bar. I mean, you're hosting the live show, so you won't be able to do this. But like the thing about a War Games match is, unless it's done for like specific reason, a War Games matchup, this kind of cage match, should be built for the babyface team to win.
I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
I see why they won, but I just think at the time, main event Mafia.
I mean, there have been exceptions. I mean, obviously the NWO back in WCW, they won a couple of War Games.
Yeah.
The Horsemen have won a couple of War Games in WCW. WWE, I mean, Division won War Games last November. It was one of the worst ones to win, but
look what happened to them after. And look what's happened after.
Yeah, they're all getting fucking hurt. The OG Bloodline back in the first War Games pay-per-view, they won. But then again, their opponents were the Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. So they had to go over.
Yeah.
So there have been instances where the heel team does go over. But in my opinion, I truly believe that in a match like this, especially if it's kind of settling a feud, that the babyface team should go over and kind of in a climax type matchup.
Yeah.
So I see your point, but I also see why they did what they did.
Oh no, yeah, I see why they did what they did, but I just wanted to bring that point up. Yeah. I give this 3.5 out of 5.
All right, Clintus?
See, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 as well.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say 3 out of 5. I thought the match was pretty decent. And yeah, so all right. The main event, Cactus Jack or Mick Foley in Cactus Jack attire versus Sting, TNA World Title, and you can win the match by pinfall submission and climbing up over the top of the cage.
This was a regular steel cage match.
Yeah.
This is the only one. And the sad part, this was like the only regular steel cage match he had all night.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This match, if you grew up watching Cactus Jack versus Sting like I did, you were very happy that this match was happening. But then again, like I said earlier, a 44-year-old Mick Foley and a 50-year-old Sting. So you're not going to get the magic that you got 18 years earlier.
Yep.
But, you know, they tried.
Yeah, they did.
Now, let me ask you this. When you see matches like this, do you just think they decided and they wait to guys get past the prime to finally give us these matchups like this? Does this like saying, like, we're giving you the match you guys wanted to see, even though it's way past the prime and nobody's probably not going to be interested in seeing it no more just to make the viewers happy? Or do you really think you had something going here?
Yeah. Well, I look at this match, and you know what this reminds me of? The WCW Age in the Cage. Remember the Piper Hogan match from Halloween Havoc '97?
Wasn't that like the I Quit or something like, or the steel cage on top of it?
No, that was Halloween Havoc '97. That was the same pay-per-view as Eddie and Ray.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't get past 96 because that's when my Peacock subscription expired.
Okay. But it's basically that's basically what the cage match is called now, is Age in the Cage, because it was so bad. People had been waiting like 12, 13 years to get Hogan and Piper in the cage, and they were just like so past their prime.
Yep.
That's what this match kind of reminded me of. I get why they did it, and they were in Philadelphia, and people love Sting and they love Mick Foley, and they're like, all right, well, the nostalgia is going to help.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is that, you know, it's not like, you know, today they're not going to do a thing where they're going to tell Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, hey, you guys got to get in the cage, because that's what the fans want to see.
That wouldn't work today.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work today. They thought it could work back then because those guys were still like, they weren't like ancient. And Piper and Hogan, when they got in the cage, they were both. Piper was 43, I think, at the time of that cage match. And I think Hogan was 41.
Yeah,
that
worked.
No. Fuck. I'm lying. Hogan was 40. Hogan was 41. So so Hogan was 41 at the time, or 41 or 42, and Piper was 43. So this kind of bears like the same resemblance.
Yeah.
So, all right, Eric, give it a rating.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I'm not gonna say it should have been better, but because it's of their age. But I don't know if the right guy won. I can understand why he won, but I don't think maybe he shouldn't have won.
So you don't think they should have taken the title off Sting yet?
No.
Okay. Clintus, give your rating and then kind of give your opinion to Eric's opinion.
See, in a way, I want to tell you the truth. I was not a big fan of this match overall. So my rating in this match would probably be like a 2. Okay. I think if you were younger Sting, a real Cactus Jack, I think we're going to get a good banger of a match. But I think these guys are way past the prime to be in a main event, be set up for a world title match. And I do kind of agree with Eric. I would not have Mick Foley win that title. I think Foley title days, golden days were done in the 90s in the Attitude Era.
Okay.
Not saying he's not championship material. It's just that you could tell his body and his style of wrestling wasn't like championship level ready yet. If that makes sense,
Right.
you know what I mean? With
Yeah.
all the injuries he's always having and all these crazy matches he wants to have with people. So I wouldn't not have put the title on Mick Foley.
All right. No, I kind of agree. Now, looking at the TNA roster at the time, who should have taken the title off of Sting?
See, I would have gave it to the young guys. I would have said either at the time, probably maybe AJ. I mean, if you want to start the Kurt Angle was still hot to me. He was one of my. Hey, too. Kurt Angle was the main reason why I started watching TNA.
Okay.
Because when I heard he went over there and that blood feud with Samoa Joe.
Yep.
So would you have given the title back to Kurt?
I probably would have given it back to Kurt, but not at that time because he was still with the main event Mafia.
Would you have taken Sting out of the main event Mafia and then put the title on Kurt then?
I probably would have.
Did that angle later in the year with
like a couple months later.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So
I probably would have. That I would have done, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have given it to Joe.
Well, Sting's the one. Joe's the one Sting took the title from.
Oh yeah, okay.
And by the way, Clinton, I do actually agree with you. Like, if you go back, if you search on YouTube and search for Cactus versus Sting from 1991, 1992, you're going to see the good match, the good chemistry that they had back then.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Like, those matches were awesome.
Do you think they only give it to Foley because it was Philly?
I think they gave it to Foley because they're just like, nobody's expecting it. Because it's Philly, yes. Because they're they're bloodthirsty fans, and this was, they called Mick the king of hardcore.
Yep.
But here's the thing, though. This match was not even a king of hardcore match. I mean, the only hardcore spot you had was when Mick Foley so-called threatened the referee to get the barbed wire baseball bat and to give him the barbed wire baseball bat.
Yeah.
And then he punched himself in the face to make himself bleed in the beginning of the match.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this match a 3. Just because of who was in it, and I thought it was okay for what they were able to do. Again, if you go back, if this were 18 years earlier and these guys were in their prime, if this were 26-year-old Mick Foley and
30-year-old Sting,
32-year-old Sting or whatever the hell it was, then yes, this match would have been great.
Yep.
But unfortunately, they were older. And you're going to have another situation like Hogan and Piper where it turns out to be age in the cage.
Yeah.
So, Clinton, final thoughts on the pay-per-view.
Okay, final thoughts of the pay-per-view was like, I think the pay-per-view overall was like I will say all over the place. You had some goods, you had some low, you had some highs, you had some lows, you had some good in betweeners. Basically, if you think about it, it was you had the old timers. I look at it as like the old timers still trying to prove that, hey, even though we're still old veterans, we can still hang with these young guys coming out of developmental and trying to make a name themselves too, and try to hold their pack in line instead of pass the baton. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
and how these matches set up, you could kind of see that. especially when it came to Lethal Lockdown. That was on paper right then and there.
Yeah.
But overall, I will give this pay per view a 3 out of 5.
Oh, you don't want to go out of 10?
Oh, if we run out of 10, then I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I thought this should have been a 5-match card. The matches I think shouldn't have been on the card, as I alluded to earlier. The ODB match, the Morgan match,
You sexist pig.
maybe a 6-match. So yeah, there's a few matches on this card that shouldn't have been on the card. I think some should have been longer, like Lethal Lockdown. It was a decent card. It was the worst one that Clint picked. So no offense, Clint.
I mean, he's been hitting home runs.
Yeah. Like I said, I got the year wrong. Okay, I got the year wrong, and I regretted it when I turned.
Yeah,
it was too late. When I got into it, I was like, I can't.
By the way, the pay-per-view he picked last week was one of our higher viewed episodes in a while.
Yeah.
So
that was a great pay-per-view.
Everybody was happy with No Mercy 2002.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit.
Every now and then we have to do a bad pay-per-view to keep it level. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10.
Okay. There were some good, some bad, some in the middle. There was a couple matches that I liked. There were some that were just like, nee. Probably, I think, one of their worst lockdowns. I'm going to say 5 out of 10. So
I also want to say, I think the Philadelphia crowd was kind of disappointing. I don't know if Clint would agree with that. I don't think it was your typical Philadelphia crowd, but that's just me.
Well, at the time, I was actually thinking about going to this pay-per-view as well.
I was going to ask, did you?
I did not go to the pay-per-view. No. I've never been to a TNA pay-per-view. I think the closest I've been to is thinking about going to is the one, the Bound for Glory one they had in Philly.
Okay. This is probably one of their worst.
Which year was that? Which year was Bound for Glory in Philly?
I had to look that up.
Was that 13 or 12?
Oh, yeah, no, that was 11.
Oh, 11. Okay.
Yeah, that was when
let's put it this way.
That was Angle and Rude, and that was Sting and Hogan.
Yeah.
I remember that just popped in my head.
Was that at the Temple Stadium too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next week on the show, we're going to bring back something that we had a lot of fun doing the last time we did it. We're going to bring back Book, Push, Fire. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, it's basically our version of F, Marry, Kill.
It is part 2.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun doing it the last time. I don't know if we actually wrote down exactly like what we did. I mean, we just go back and listen to the episode, but I'm pretty sure we'll come out with new stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But that's going to be next. That's going to be next Friday night. Daniel will be back. Like I said, we're going to work on. We're going to get a golden era list up in a few weeks. We're going to do a golden era countdown. The WCW countdown we did turned out really well. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. Now we had to do the WCW one in 2 parts because we're doing 50 guys, and it took a while.
Now, did we do that? Was that one of our first YouTube shows?
It was on YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
And we had a lot of fan participation for it in the groups that I put it in. So that's why I'm kind of confident we'll get some help this time, too.
Yep,
so
definitely. Especially because it's old school.
Yeah. Now, Elimination Chamber tomorrow. Do you guys think that it's just going to be cut and dry that Cody's going to get the title shot, or do you think that somehow we're going to end up with a bunch of guys wrestling for the WWE title at WrestleMania? I keep hearing different things.
I don't. Number one,
I think
I don't.
it could be a fatal 4-way.
You
I
don't?
will
I think there's going to
still.
be some controversial finish tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll say that now.
Go ahead, Clarence.
I want to say it's going to be controversial. I don't as much. I keep saying that we should get a triple threat between McIntyre, Cody, and Fatu. I mean, it's right there. The story writes
I'm
itself,
hearing that more are going to get involved.
and I don't think you don't need more. I mean, here's the thing.
Well, you know the other three names that they're talking about, right?
No,
Well, would you like me to tell
I
you?
would love to hear this because this is. I don't think. Because to me, I don't think.
I know one of them.
All right,
I
who
don't
did
think
you hear?
this
Randy.
situation involved more people.
Okay. Here's what I've heard. I've heard that it could be that we could get up to like 4 to 6 people in this thing. Because I've heard Randy Orton could get involved. I've heard Sami Zayn. I've heard Aleister Black, especially because Aleister Black pinned Randy Orton thanks to Drew McIntyre on last Friday night.
See, I would add Sami Zayn. If you're going to put it in there, I will put Sami Zayn is the only one I would probably agree with adding onto it.
Okay, so you would not put in Randy Orton or Aleister Black?
No. I think Randy Orton and
I would put
Aleister Black can have like a good, will have a good, I think you could play that out
You would put them in
to
a single at WrestleMania?
single to WrestleMania, yes.
Okay.
But I would not add them into the title match.
All right.
If you want to make it to like a future title match, no more contendership, I'll do something like that.
All right.
To give
But
the match meaning.
But if you were going to add anybody else into the match, it would be Jacob Fatu and it would be Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Eric?
would say Jacob and Randy.
All right. So you would put Randy Orton in there and not Sami Zayn.
Yeah, as much as I love Sami Zayn, I think Randy with Cody in that storyline, I think they need to build that up for SummerSlam.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. So we'll build on that because we just got Clint's idea for, what to do with, Randy Orton and Aleister Black. What do you do with Sami Zayn in WrestleMania?
It's no,
I mean, if you have an idea, let's hear. I mean, the WWE is not going to give a shit, but if you have an idea, let's hear it.
I know there's going to be a lot of multi-man. Maybe.
Well, yeah,
put him in
everybody's
IC
got to get a
title.
payday at WrestleMania.
Maybe put him against what's it, Dom?
How do you fit Sami Zayn versus Don? Because remember, Sami's on SmackDown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Now, do you put him in something for the U.S. title with like Carmelo and Trick?
Yeah. I mean, if or
No.
Clint said maybe you do Randy versus. I mean, this is from Clint's idea: Randy versus Black versus Sam for #1 contendership.
Okay.
But
Clint, what do you do with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania?
Well, like I said, I'll add him into the championship match because
Okay, so you think he should be in there?
yes.
So you say if it's a fatal 4-way, Sami Zayn should be the 4th.
Yes.
Eric, you say if it's a fatal 4-way, it should be Randy Orton.
Yeah, and I would say Sammy versus Black maybe for #1 contendership. Now that I think about it.
All right. I kind of just like the idea of Cody, McIntyre, and Fatu because the story's already there.
Yeah,
And I agree with that. But if you're going to add Sammy, if you're going to add a 4th person in there, that's what I say Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn kind of works into the story as well.
Well, the thing is I think both Sami Zayn and Randy Orton fit into the story.
exactly.
Okay. But if you
I think Sammy's point, I just can't see Randy's.
Like, I'll say this, and I think you guys might agree with me. I think 5 guys is too much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Way too much.
Okay. If you have to pick one, you say, Eric, you said Randy Orton, Clinton, you say Sami Zayn. I think I'm going to kind of agree with. I think the story is there with Randy, but I don't think they want to tell it yet for some unknown reason.
And that's the only reason why I disagree with the Randy situation, because I don't see the story there right now. As of right now, I do not see the story that has no point of adding Randy Orton into a title match, except that he's a former 14-time champion.
Yeah. I think the story is Sami Zayn. So if it was going to be a fatal four-way, I would say Sami Zayn would be the fourth person in there. Now, the thing is, I think for it to be a better match, I think it should be Orton. For it to be more high profile.
Yeah.
But
now
I think telling the story of Sami Zayn, and especially if we can get a Sami heel turn, that would help. Go ahead. You want to make a point?
Which world title is going to be on night 2? The main minute. Huh?
You're seriously going to ask
You
that?
think Roman and Punk are going to be night?
They're going to be the main event. That's like the biggest match they can do.
Okay.
If it's not Cody Roman 3, it's going to be Roman and Punk.
Yep. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they're going to put Cody in night 2 or Roman.
I think they've really exhausted the whole QB1 thing. And that's my opinion, and I can't get, in trouble because the boss isn't here for saying that. Although he'll probably still, because again, I've dealt with a bad back all week, so he knows where to kick me.
Well, I'm a Cody fan too, so
yeah. I don't know. I just think that this whole Cody, the whole Cody thing and him being the main event, yes, he finished the story a couple of years ago. And I get that.
As a Cody fan, I can agree with that. I think I'm kind of exhausted from it.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to change it up.
And I do not want it to be Cody just fan. Cody and McIntyre at WrestleMania.
Oh no, I don't want that.
If they go that route,
then you have to give it to Cody, don't you?
Yeah. If they go that route, if Triple H decides, we'll just do Cody and Drew at WrestleMania for the 19th time, then I think that the rumors of Vince trying to buy back WWE from TKO should be true. I'll even go to bat for him and be like,
a lot of people want that to be true.
Well, and the funny thing is that here's my feeling on it. Because Sean Ross Sapp has said, it's not true. It's not true. I think in some possibility it is true. Because here's what I think is going on. I think Vince McMahon is ready to pass on. But you know how sometimes family members kind of hold on. If you have somebody that's on their deathbed and they're just like, no, I can't go yet because I got to do this first.
Yeah.
I think Vince McMahon does not want to die until he owns WWE again.
He wants to die. He wants to die as the owner of WWE.
Yes. I truly believe that. Just like I also truly believe that the only reason why he is still alive is because Satan does not want him to go to hell yet, because Satan is afraid he's going to take over hell when he gets there. I have said that for years. I said the only reason why Vince McMahon is still alive is because Satan and God cannot agree where to send him in the afterlife.
Hey, we might have a new verse called McMahon Paradise.
They might be waiting to build that. Who knows? But I have said that. I have said that for years. I don't know if I've ever said that on air because I think I've been told not to say it on air, but I'm unfiltered tonight because my filter is not here.
Yeah, unfiltered Doug. Sure. I can agree with unfiltered Doug.
Yeah. So, But I mean, that's like my personal feeling. And I feel like that he wants to pass on as owner of WWE. Do I think it's a good idea for him to buy the company back? No, because the company was crap, towards the end of his run. Because nobody knows how to do anything. Nobody knows how to do anything new.
I'll ask you guys this before we head out, since we're kind of on that topic. This has been not controversial, but a big topic the last 2 weeks. Ticket prices, and where do you think it is headed?
I think that's one of the reasons why people want him to buy back WWE is because they think the ticket prices are going to go down.
Yep, exactly.
The thing is, I think if he buys back the company, he's going to make it private and he's just going to take it to Saudi Arabia so nobody can enjoy it.
Yeah, and then he's going to sell it to them.
Yeah.
Then we're in bigger. Then WWE's in bigger trouble.
Yeah. Then AEW is going to win the war after all.
How did WWE? It took the owner to kill it itself.
Yeah, that's the thing. I truly believe Vince McMahon does not want WWE to succeed if he is not involved.
So he's gonna gotta help AEW in that regard.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like because and it's kind of selfish on his part.
Yeah.
But he just but I kind of understand it. It's like, okay, I built this, I made it successful. The problem is, pal, you stayed around way too long. If you would have retired when you turned 65, here's the thing. The retirement age, what's the retirement age here in America now? Is it still 65 or is it older?
It might be 68 now.
I thought it was 62.
It used to be 62. Then I think they changed it to 65.
Oh, then I guess it's 65 then.
Well, has it changed?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
It might have been.
I'm looking at it like this. I'm nowhere near retiring yet. I'm not thinking about retiring. I am good.
I think my body wants me to retire because it keeps giving out on me. But back around when Vince turned 65, that was the retirement age, was 65. I feel like, when you hit the retirement age, no matter what age you're at, and you could say the same thing about Jerry Jones in the NFL.
Yep.
It's time to go. Like, because you can't make good decisions anymore. So, all right. We've kind of added on a few extra minutes to the show, talking about, this stuff. Tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern time on the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel, we got our very special Judge's Choice episode. It could very well be our last show because Eric is hosting.
Hey. What? How's it going to be your last show because Eric's hosting? That's you have to have faith in the man. I have faith in you, Eric. You're going to do well.
Thank you, Clinton.
Yeah.
And Doug, you're going to be right next to me.
I know. That's what's going to make it worse.
Oh, God.
So
I try.
Tomorrow's and Eric picked all these battles, which is why he's hosting. So Dave, Sean, and I are going to be the judges. So it's going to get even worse. We've got Alpha Animated Series taking on SpongeBob SquarePants, a battle of two of Eric's personal favorites.
I don't know why. What was I thinking about that?
I think it was because you knew I was going to put it on mine, so you beat me to it.
Okay.
And you didn't want to be a judge for it.
Were you going to put it on yours?
I can't. You already did.
No. Were you? If I didn't?
Yes, I was going to put it in mine. I was planning on screwing with you.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay, ladies, can we get to the? Meat and potato sleeves.
Yeah. So, no, I was planning on Alf the Animated Series versus SpongeBob SquarePants. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog takes on Super Mario Brothers Super Show. King of the Hill faces Rugrats. Pokemon faces Rocket Power. Hey Arnold takes on Doug, and the main event is X-Men the Animated Series taking on Captain Planet and the Planeteers. We will see everybody tomorrow afternoon at 4. Enjoy SmackDown. Enjoy Elimination Chamber. And Eric, take care of the shorts, please.
Yes, sir.
And
Later,
love
Planet.
Later.
you guys. Later.
Guys.